Good afternoon and welcome to Gettysburg College. My name is Julianna Pestretto, and on behalf of the entire student body, I would like to welcome you all to campus. As a senior at Gettysburg, I am studying political science, globalization, and French. Across campus, I work for residential and first-year programs, the Eisenhower Institute, and the Political Science Department. All this has made for a very busy but incredibly meaningful 3 years at Gettysburg. This past semester, I was fortunate enough to study abroad in Tunisia. Although I was only able to spend about a month and a half there, I filled that time with more than my fair share of adventure. One such experience occurred when two friends and I decided to take advantage of a surprise 3-day weekend and travel on our Arabic teacher's rather offhanded suggestion to a small town named Corbis. Home to hot springs and located about 2 hours from where we were staying in Tunis, it seemed like the perfect weekend getaway for 3 former strangers. Now, before I go into this story, one thing to note. All 3 of us are meticulous Gettysburg planners, the kind with the overwhelming, overbooked Google calendars that accomplish close to nothing except thoroughly stressing you out. Yep, those kinds of planners. Now back to our adventure. In that brief moment of attempting to plan our 3-day trip to Corbis, we decided, perhaps foolishly, that we would, for once in our lives, take the approach of having no plan. Yep, that's right. In a country we had just barely become acquainted with, we went with the no plan plan. Genius. When I say I had no plan, I mean just that. With our goal of arriving in Corbis that same day in mind, we just stepped onto the street outside of our school and hailed a taxi to the Louage station, a hub of minibuses that travel at perilous speeds to all parts of the country. Upon arrival at the station, we hopped into a lodge labeled Suleiman, the town right outside of Corbis, and were greeted enthusiastically by our driver. All 3 of us piled into the back of the bus, right above the wheels, and prepared for the bumpy ride ahead. The 6 other passengers chatted in a carefree manner as we sat in the back, filled with uncertainty of what the next few hours would hold for us, and fairly uneasy about our lack of plan. After all, this was the first time any of us had embarked on such an adventure with absolutely zero preparation, and the disquiet between us was palpable. Once in Suleiman, I had a rather disjointed conversation, imperfect French on both sides, with our driver, who offered to take us the rest of the way to Corbis. His reckless driving through the twisting road on the side of the mountain, with no guardrail at that, certainly did not help the fact that I was unconvinced I had accurately communicated our desired destination. Perilous odds aside, we soon arrived at our seaside haven and plunged into the hot springs, proud we were able to go through with our no planned plan without losing our minds or ourselves. Now, there's one thing that you'll hear so often on any college campus that soon it will begin to prompt the rather knee-jerk response of rolling your eyes back into your head. That one thing, abroad, changed me. In Tunisia, we openly mocked this, but looking back on it now, and cringing a bit as I say this, I think there is some truth in that. The opportunity to shape yourself into who you want to be is a huge reason so many people go abroad, or just go to college in general. But we mustn't prescribe false agency to the act of going abroad or to the act of going to college. The truth is, the agency lies in you. It is the decisions you will make on this campus, the adventures you will embark on, the new things you will try that will truly shape you. What Gettysburg offers is the opportunity to own that agency, to embark on your own life-changing adventure. That trip to Corbis, although nerve-wracking at first, gave me the assurance that I am able to navigate the uncertain, something I never would have known if I hadn't broken out of my restrictive and constant need for a plan. College is not and should not be a passive or prescribed experience. Rather, it is a place where you can challenge yourself to grow into the person you never thought you could be. Take chances. Don't be afraid to take a chance. You might be surprised at the impact it could have on your life. Class of 2024, I wish you luck. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our 15th president, Bob Iuliano.
Thank you, Juliana. Boy, what a wonderful night to get together. We've been very lucky with the weather so far in our early days. Juliana and I have done this now 2 years in a row. That is, welcome the class, though this is a little bit different, obviously, than last year. And I say that in part to underscore something that is available to you all as students here. Juliana has played an important role for 2 consecutive years in helping to shape the orientation that you're experiencing. And there is something about Gettysburg College that is reflected in her experience. Your ability to help shape not just what happens to you in the classroom, or even outside of the classroom, but your ability to help shape the course of this college as well, by virtue of the way in which you engage in the things that we do. So thank you, Juliana, and class of 2024. A really hearty welcome from me as the college president, welcoming you to campus in the beginning of this remarkable educational journey you're about to embark on. I know that this has not exactly been the most linear path to college that anybody has ever experienced, and I'm grateful for your patience and your goodwill as we navigate this together. And I recognize that for some of you, the last 2 weeks may be the first time that you were able to set foot on campus because of the constraints on visitation that the pandemic imposed. So let me just underscore on behalf of the faculty, the administration, and your fellow students just how excited we are that you are here with us today, that you are here with us over the next 4 years, and that you will be a vibrant and engaged part of this community. As you know, this is being simulcast today because we also have a number of your classmates who made the judgment to study remotely this semester. We thought it was important to give students a real choice about what made the most sense to them over the course of this academic year. I'll say a word to our remote students in a moment, but to you all, please reach out to them. Just as the sophomores and the juniors and the seniors have helped welcome you to this community, let's make sure that we also welcome our remote students to this community. The friendships that you will form here, the relationships that you create will be enduring and will directly impact your 4-year experience. And so for our students who are joining us virtually today, as president, it really is my privilege to welcome you as well to this community. Because for as inspiring as these grounds are, and how important it is for us to be together, we are ultimately more than a physical place. We are a community marked by its people, by each of you and the interactions that we create together. So to our virtual students, you are important members of this community. You are full members of this community. Get involved. Reach out to your fellow classmates as I have urged them to reach out to you. We may be separated by distance this semester, but these bonds that you will forge with your faculty, with fellow students, will matter enormously. And we are grateful to have you as part of this community. So matriculations always require words of wisdom from the president. I'm not sure I can deliver that, but I will offer some words. And I want to focus actually on 3 powerful words, which if you take seriously, will impact your educational progress here. And I think, if I can be immodest for a moment, maybe even the course of your life. And these 3 words are pretty simple. They are simply, I don't know. You know, those aren't foreign words. When you were born, that was not something, as you were growing up as a little kid, you said that quite frequently. But those words have seemingly left our public discourse. We don't hear many elected officials now or leaders of industry acknowledge that they don't know. Again, why is that? I think about when I raised my 2 boys, the number of why questions that they offered me, why everything, and I suspect you did this to your parents. Those why questions, the acknowledgement that maybe we don't know, they're important because they acknowledge the limits of our own understanding, our understanding of the world, the way in which we fit into the world. And yet something seems to change as we get older. We become a little less willing to admit to ourselves and maybe to others that we don't know, that we're not certain, or maybe even that we're not right. And in doing so, I think we end up forfeiting important opportunities to learn. The truth is, we do this, I think, out of a sense of fear, that somehow we're going to be seen as something less if we acknowledge that we don't know. If we acknowledge our own limitations, maybe we're going to be a little less deserving of somebody else's respect. All of this isn't a matter of capacity. It's a matter of choice and confidence. I recognize that when you admit that you don't know, you're exposing yourself to a sense of vulnerability. But here's the point I really want to underscore. An effective education requires you to be a little bit vulnerable, to be open to new ways to think, to be open to reimagining and reassessing those assumptions that you have developed over the first 17 or 18 years of your life, to cause you to question the things that you thought you knew. That's why you're here. That's what this education offers. In many respects, it's like an excavation. It is an opportunity for you all to lean in. Again, to admit what you don't know so that you may begin to peel back the layers of the world and our understanding of it in search of truth and what is right. And it's that being open to that possibility in which the most robust education lies. So be vulnerable, ask questions, explore, learn, and approach your time with a degree of humility that permits a true openness to understanding and the possibilities of personal growth. Perhaps simply put, reclaim the phrase, "I don't know," and declare it with the wonder and curiosity of your childhood self. So again, class of 2024, it is really my privilege as the president of this college to welcome you. I am excited to see all that you will accomplish over the course of your 4 years here. I'm looking forward to working together with you on all of this. So very much welcome. With that, I am now going to turn the podium over to our provost, Chris Zappe, who will walk you, I left an important thing out. Pause for a second. It is now time for your matriculation, which is, after all, why you're here. You all have pins on your chair. So if you would take those pins out, with your matriculation, this means that your name is now entered on the list of all those who have studied at Gettysburg College since our establishment in 1832. As you'd expect, this list grows longer. Every year, each class is added. The pin before you symbolizes your membership in this class, and more importantly, as a member of the broader Gettysburg community. As a member of this community, you are going to benefit from a truly exceptional education that will open the doors to your future that holds great possibilities. And when we're done, you will be walking through Pennsylvania Hall, and that will be a symbol of the beginning of the academic journey that you're about to undertake. And when you graduate 4 years hence, you will walk through the other direction as a means of acknowledging that you are ready for the world that awaits. So now with that, if you would please place the pins above your heart, and that will mark your official matriculation to Gettysburg College. So again, class of 2024, welcome to the college. Congratulations on your matriculation. We are incredibly excited for what the next 4 years has in store for you. And now, having falsely introduced the provost once, I will authentically introduce him this time. So Chris, over to you.
Thank you, President Iuliano. Class of 2024, I am delighted to welcome you to Gettysburg College. Your first act as a student of Gettysburg College will be to recite the Gettysburg College Pledge, the mission of Gettysburg College, which affirms the worth and dignity of all people and the limitless value of their intellectual potential, relies on mutual trust as its foundation. Honesty and integrity are the heart of this trust and crucial to a community in which intellectual achievement, scholarship, and character can flourish. By affirming the Gettysburg College Pledge, you assume the obligation and the responsibility to be honest in your relationships with each other, with your course instructor, and with all members of the college community. Please repeat the pledge after me, along after me. I affirm that I will uphold the highest principles of honesty and integrity in all my endeavors at Gettysburg College, and foster an atmosphere of mutual respect, within and beyond the classroom. Thank you. At this time, I invite the class of 2024 to listen to the alma mater and other Bullets Marching Band music as you enter Pennsylvania Hall as a symbol of matriculation at Gettysburg College. You will follow Julianna with the class flag to continue up the stairs to enter, move through the ground floor entrance, or move around the outside of the building to the south side of Pennsylvania Hall, fondly referred to as Old Quad, where President Iuliano and I will greet you. Ushers will assist you in order for us to maintain safe distances as you recess. Julianna?